So my mom barges in. She lays down next to me and we're talking. And I just get this feeling. I don't know. I just get this overwhelming feeling of like, I need to tell my mom I'm a VTuber and I need to do it today. Because I haven't told her all this time, right? I asked her something about like taxes, because you know she does taxes and she was gonna help me, right? And so we're talking about it and I was like, I was trying to like worm my way into the conversation. I was like, okay, so say I made a little bit more than coffee shop job last year. How much does that mess things up? And she was like, that messes things up. What else did you do? And I was like, oh, I did this other job. She was like, oh, but you didn't. And then I was like, oh, and while I was in the apartment, I took this work from home job. And she was like, oh, but you didn't get paid above this much, right? And I was like, I did actually. And she was like, okay. And so I show her like my form, like my tax form or whatever for 2023. And I'm like, oh, it's like it's like, I didn't know how to explain it. I didn't know how to explain it at all. And she was like, what do you do? She was like, it's not OnlyFans, right? And I was like, no, it's not OnlyFans. It's not OnlyFans. It's not OnlyFans. And she's like, well, I do taxes for strippers, okay? Like, I like, just tell me. And I was like, I know, it's nothing like that, okay? I was like, it's nothing like that, okay? Okay. I was like, it's not like that at all, alright? I was bracing myself for it anyway. But I was like, oh, like, you know how I do my, like, you know, I sing and stuff and like, and she was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, so I'm like a character and like, it's gaming. And she was like, oh. She was like, well, I was thinking you were crazy or doing OnlyFans or something. And I was so like worried. And I was like, no, I wasn't doing anything crazy. It's a gaming company. You know? Yeah, she thought I was crazy or something. So I tell her and she was like, okay. She was like, I don't understand. And I show her and she was like, well, show me your channel. And I was like, okay. Well, at first I was hesitant. And I just like, she was like, it's not adult content, right? You're not doing sex talk, right? And I was like, no, I'm not. I was kind of scared about my ASMR, so I hit it. But I showed her my channel. And she was like, okay, well, she was so concerned. Yeah. Yeah. So she was really like, she just needed to make sure. And I was like explaining it to her. And she was like, okay, well, you need to make sure you're not in trouble with the IRS. She like moved on so fast. She was like, you need to make sure you're not in trouble with the IRS. And I was like, how do I do that? And she like told me how to like sign in to like the IRS website and stuff. And she was like, okay, do this. I was like, okay. And she's like getting ready for work. And she puts on my debut in the other room and I hear it. I'm like, oh my god, this is happening. Oh my god. I hear my debut and I was like, well, I was like trying to tell her, I was like, I'm just a little. She was like, show me your video. And I was like, I'm a little embarrassed. And she was like, no, don't be embarrassed. Why are you afraid of, don't be ashamed of your art. She was like, you can't be ashamed of your art. And I was like, okay, you're right. Okay. So I just like, yeah. And so she was watching my debut and she was getting ready for work and stuff. And I was just in the other room. I was like, oh my god. And so then I'm like, oh my god. And then I go to Papa Raccoon's house And while I'm on the way there, I I get a text from her, and she just said, like, "Wow, my daughter made YouTube. I'm so proud." I was like, "What the heck? I didn't expect that at all." I mean, I just didn't know what to expect, you know. What'd you think of your design? I mean, I told her I'm a witch. And she's like, "Ah, that's why you like witches so much." Because we both like witches and stuff like that. And she liked it. And she was like, "What's your name?" And I said, "Raki." I mean, she knows my name's Raki, obviously. But like, you know, even as a YouTuber. And she was like, and I was like playing back. I was playing back a stream for her. I was showing her the Infinity Nikki because I told her it was gaming. So I showed her the Infinity Nikki stream. And she was looking at the chat replay. And she was like, "Oh, this is real?" I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Oh, but how do you know they're not like creepy?" And I was like, "They're not creepy, don't worry." And she also sent me Racktober. And she was like, who is this singing?" And I called her and she was like, "Was that you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "It's very good. It's very good." And she said, "This is okay. Keep this up and it's okay." I was like, "Wow, okay." And what is it? She said, "I listened to your Christmas video." And in my head, that meant one of two things. Either she listened to my ASMR or she listened to my stream that I did. And I didn't know, but she was like, "It was very nice. It was very soothing. You're very soothing." And I was like, "Okay, so she listened to my ASMR. That's good. Okay." So I went back, right? Because my mom called me and she was like, "Give me the login to the IRS thing." And I gave her the login. And she said, "It's all wrong." She said, "The IRS are going to come after us if we don't fix this now. Come to my office now." And so my brother's like, "Oh, okay." And like, he has to go to work. And so he drops me up to her office. And she's like, "We need to send an amendment to the IRS." And I said, "Okay." I was sad. I listened to her, okay? And she said, "This is your next content. You need to tell everyone to do their taxes right." And I said, "Okay, I'll tell them. I'll tell them to do their taxes right. If you don't do your taxes right, it's gonna be a domino effect. And it'll haunt you for the rest of your life." And I was like, "Okay, I'll tell them." So she told me to tell you guys. Yeah. Thank you, Mama Raccoon. Yeah, everyone said thank you, Mama Raccoon. It was so crazy. She like sat down. She like helped me with my freaking taxes. And she was like, "How much do you make in a month?" I said, "Beep." And she was like, "You make more than me sometimes." I was like, "What? No way. Nuh-uh. Maybe in the month of October, but like not usually." She was like, "Where do you do with the money?" And I was like, "You know, I that's why I don't ask you for much. I just do everything myself other than pay for school, you know." Yeah, so, and I mean, get scammed on the occasion. She also helped me through that. She was like, "Why did you write off so much money?" And I was like, "Well, I was told that I could write off my equipment." And she said, "Girl," she didn't say girl, but she was like, "No, you don't make it completely rounded numbers. That's how you get caught for lying." all the girls, tell them to come to me, okay? And I'll do their taxes." And so I told the girls, "Hey, if you need tax help, my mom will help you." I think I'm gonna do more members ASMR going forward. Not because I'm ashamed, but you know, just, you know. Well, she was asking me. She was like, "What if one of them tries to say something bad in your chat? What if they say something bad? Like what if one of them says, 'Hey, come do something bad or something?'" And I told them that's why we have mods. We have mods in the chat so nothing bad happens. And also, you guys don't do that stuff. get something bad. Mods! Mods! I thought it was so funny when the first thing she said was... When I was hesitant, the first thing she said was... Do you do adult stuff? I do taxes for strippers. And I was like, no! It's not like that at all. It's not like that at all. And I was like, wait, I didn't know that. I think what compelled me to talk to her about it, because, like, on one hand, I realized if I didn't tell her, I probably would have gotten in even deeper shit. But also, I was like, I don't know. There's just some stuff going on right now, and I'm like, man, I just like had a realization to myself. I was like, I cannot do this alone the way I have been. And I just need some sort of direction, I guess. And I'm really glad I was able to tell her in the end. Yeah. You know, she's always told me, like, studies come first. You know, because she didn't finish university. So everything that she did, she had to, like, work really hard, you know? Like, you know, coming here and everything, she had to work really hard. So, like, she always just told me, like, all you need to do is study. All you need to do is study. And so that was part of it. Like, I didn't want to worry her. But, like, I told her, like, I do, like, this is, like, my creativity. And, like, I can work at my own pace, you know? And, like, and everything. So she understood in the end. And I was like, you know, like, my roommates, like, they know about it. Like, they even come on sometimes. Like, yeah. It's been, like, 2 years now since I signed on. So you can imagine how crazy that is. Like, I don't know. Yeah. So it still feels a little surreal, even though it's kind of small in hindsight. Yeah. I'm kind of embarrassed. I hope she doesn't watch this stream. I hope she doesn't watch the stream and be like, why are you telling everyone about your business? That's fine.
Go mad, so don't throw away this thing we had. Cause when push comes to shove, I will kill your friends and family.